Hey y'all, it's King Vix and I need y'all to listen because peach season is back and this is my review on the premiere of The Real Housewives of Atlanta season 17. I lost the original intro to this video, so I just had to do it again, child. Now let's get into it. But before we do, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. So the episode opened up real cute with Cynthia Bailey watching the sizzle reel and doing her famous line, the what else is going on line. I thought that was real cute. The opening picture with all the ladies in red, that was cute too. Phaedra looked like she had on a little Red Riding Hood. Portia looked good as always. Angela looked really good. But I just think that the Bravo red is getting a bit stale. I mean, they had red at their Housewives of Potomac reunion. They had red at the Married to Medicine reunion. And now they got red for the opening credit picture of Housewives of Atlanta. I'm like, okay, 2026, we don't have enough red, baby. And we move on over to Miss Angela Oakley's house. Now, Angela Oakley is this fan's favorite, all puns intended. She is one of the main reasons that I returned to watch this season because last season was a bit... But anyway, I'm living for the fact that she got her own fan line. She was like, baby, she talked to her daughter while he was all cooking out and stuff. She, baby, go get my fan. And like a fan is a part of your brand, cooking is a part of your family brand too. Y'all need to have like a little cooking series on YouTube or something because that's kind of, you need to come up with a cookbook, something, a spice line, a marinade line, You need to do something like that. That'll work real cute. Now, if you want to know my opinions on the comments that he made or just the Oakley's relationship overall, I honestly think that they are a good couple. They make a good couple. However, I just feel like they might be struggling with this newfound attention. It's like they like it, but they don't. And I want to say it for this reason. First of all, the attention that they're typically used to getting is based off of Charles and his basketball legacy. This is not about Charles's basketball legacy. The newfound attention that y'all have is based off y'all's marriage and relationship. Now, even though the basketball legacy is the root of why we want to know what y'all relationship and what y'all have going on and why we're interested in y'all being on Housewives, that's the root, but that's not the main focus on why you have our attention now. So it's like, it's this newfound attention. It's like you're used to getting attention, but now there's this new boost in attention that it's like it helped, but then it hurts as well. Also, this is a new era. This isn't where you just, you get on the court, you fuck it up, and you all in the papers and all on the news. This is different. This is reality. This is the age and the era of reality television. This is the age and the area of social media. This is the age and the area of all the things. So I think that it might have something to do with that as well. And that's probably why he's getting booked or invited to relationship podcasts, because Charles Oakley and relationship podcasts, I mean, how do y'all put that together? But it's honestly because our interest is now in his relationship and in his marriages because that's what's featured on the show, not really the basketball legacy at the moment and outside of the basketball fandom. Now, when he went to go give her a hug, it was a bit awkward. But I think as far as PDA and affection, when it comes to the Oakleys, first of all, there's a difference between PDA and affection. The public displays, the licking in the mouth and all that shit is not always required, especially with married people that be together all the time. However, he could be more affectionate, especially the way that Angela's coming into the season, like 10 toes down. I think that he could be, a little more affectionate. You ain't got to slap her down. You ain't got to grab her ass, but maybe sit next to her, put her feet in your lap or her legs in your lap while you're talking to her and filming the scene with her. Just something a little more softer, Treat her like one of them girlfriends they say you got. Allegedly. Then we move on to the next scene to meet the other main reason that I'll be tuned in this season, Miss K. Michelle. Now, when it was announced that K. Michelle was going to be joining the Real Housewives cast this season, there were a lot of mixed reviews because a lot of people think, she was on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. First of all, she's become very far from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. She's done a lot more work and content and programs and projects since then. And what you cannot deny is not only is the girl beautiful, talented, she has that comic relief. She'll bring that comic relief and hilariousness to the show, and the bitch is good TV. And you cannot take that from K. Michelle. K. Michelle has been then and now good TV, honey. Now, if they would have been like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, on season 17 of Real Housewives of Atlanta, we bring in Jocelyn Hernandez, I would have been with y'all because ain't nobody got time for that. Even though they started from the same place, they just ain't in the same realms at this point in time here. So the scene is basically Portia introducing her to the show at one of her photo shoots for her upcoming country music project. They talk about that a little bit, and Portia goes on to mention this divorce that is been stale. I guess she can talk about it now from the season desist, but we don't care no more. So Portia invites K. Michelle to a couple's dinner she's having down to that house she's scammed Simon out of so that she can go on and introduce her new man. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful house, but you gotta admit, Portia, it's like a little weird and distasteful. But that's what she doing, honey. She having her party. And production wasn't gonna waste no time trying to get up in that house, honey, because they trying to cash that check that she wrote for them last season, and it was stopped by that season desist Simon sent. So I knew it wasn't gonna be before long or take them too long to get them cameras up in her house. So K. Michelle got emotional for a second, sharing with and explaining to Portia that in her experience, Atlanta has been a mean girl city. And honestly, it's been a mean girl city in my experience as well. But, she's been living her little private married life in Nashville and now returning to it for this opportunity, I'm sure is great. But, I believe she would have a little PTSD and trauma because them bitches on that Rashida and all them, they did do her a bit nasty. So it doesn't seem like a girl's girl type of place to her. And honestly, it still ain't. Don't think that you came up the echelon, up the ladder to the best show in Atlanta that it's gonna be much different. But I ain't gonna tell you no word to lie. At first, when she got emotional, I thought she was in her cup because Kay like her. She like her Jack Daniels. But then I was like, girl, we just been sitting here for a few minutes. What is you crying for? So we move on to Shamia's castle, where Kelly comes over and child, they is just the best of friends this season, watching each other's cheering, and oh, honey, now we'll see how long that lasts. But in the meantime, they having a conversation about how Kelly's eldest is going off to college, but it's only Spelman. She's not going very far. She's not going far. Kelly's still nervous. This is her eldest daughter. This is her first baby, and she is leaving the house, and she's sending her off. So I understand her being nervous. And Shamia ain't making it no damn better. Child, Shamia done packed the girl a care package full of pregnancy tests and condoms and big condoms and more condoms. Like, okay, Auntie, thanks for telling us she was a hoe in college. But hell, I was too. At least she's teaching the child how to be responsible. Kelly is sitting there looking at her like, bitch, can we get her into the dorm room first? Bang! So Shamia announces that she has a new rum line coming out. Congratulations to her. But she says that she's a little nervous because she's always considered herself smart at business, but not necessarily business savvy. But girl, that shouldn't be a problem because you got all the money and all the connections in the world. Honey, call Candy and have her hook you up with somebody that can set that shit. And honestly, I think Mia should either invest in a business manager or one staff person that could sit there and dedicate themselves to the brand and the rum brand while she's being a singer and being a housewife and all the other things. Or she should partner with someone that's already an established brand, or they already at least have brand development, beverage brand development experience, to where they can help her and partner with her and they can focus on that full throttle while she has these other things going on, and she can be the face, or, just contribute whatever she can contribute to the brand. But to sit there and start it from scratch by yourself with no experience, I wouldn't go that route. You got all the money and the resources in the world, so I would just do it the fast, expeditious route. But anyway, they get to discussing that couples dinner that Portia done invited them to at her ex-husband's house to introduce her new man. No invitation at all, because she ain't been really dealing with Portia since that reunion. When Portia was dry snitching on that reunion couch talking about, well, you kiss Kenny in the club and I kiss Kenny in the club. Girl, she was engaged to her now husband back then, and she was making a point that with your rumors and lies that you could have sabotaged her relationship. But then you get up there and I guess start telling a truth or a secret that she had. Like, girl, Portia ain't nobody friend. Shamia gonna learn. Shamia needs to stop fucking with Portia. Honey, Portia is not gonna be satisfied until you is divorced like her. When the only way a bitch can be with you is if you down yourself and she can have you up under her arm, there ain't no bitch you need to be around, honey. You shouldn't dim your light or have to dim your light for nary a damn soul. So we move on to Portia's event where she's struggling to describe her own shit. Girl, it's called the Mystic Island dinner. This girl calling it the Majestic Island. Girl, learn your shit first. Y'all know Portia smart as a wet paper bag. But one thing you got to give the bitch. She got body, she know how to dress that body, and she know how to look pretty while doing it. So Portia's guests are arriving, and Angela had me falling out when she was in the confessional laughing at how soon it's been that Portia already got this man and got all these people coming over to meet this man in her ex-husband's house. Like, ma'am, has the ink on your divorce papers even dried yet? If you ask me, the man been waiting in the wings all along. So Drew steps back into the season, still being coy about dating that man Black. But she brought him to this couple's dinner as her date via smartphone, like Cynthia. But if I were divorcing Ralph, I'd be dating anybody I damn well please as well. So go on with your bad self. His weird, disrespectful ass. So Phaedra arrives with Shaq or Shrek or whatever the man's name is. The look she pulled off at the dinner was a little questionable, but that look in the confessional was everything. But she in the confessional still lying and denying about having anything to do with setting that man up or sticking that man on the Oh Please last season. And honestly, I'm going to tell you no word to lie. After watching how Phaedra get down on that show Traitors, I don't believe shit she said. And I don't put a damn thing past her. So K. Michelle arrives to the event with her husband as Hatch, and she can't even greet the ladies good before Drew is in the confessional with her bullshit. Drew talking about, was she a singer? Is she a singer? Girl, if you could trade music careers with K. Michelle today, bitch, you would leap at the opportunity and then ask them people, why didn't it come yesterday though? Not only that, but I'm gonna hit you with something I hit my haters with. Bitch, if you were lucky enough for your best day and her worst day to fall on the same day, bitch, you still can't reach that hoe. Calm down. You can tell this whole thing she got a home court advantage and don't know how to act. So finally in walks this mystery man Mike and his friend behind him, and I always squint and side eye when they be coming in to support their woman or be with their woman, and they always got this friend with them. But I'm not going to go into that rabbit hole because I want to get into this. I saw a clip on the internet with this man Mike and the very same friend that he walked in with that was talking to Portia and everybody behind him. And it was a clip from a live on the internet where he was saying that he is an actor. And the man that came behind was telling him, well, listen, I got a homie, I have a friend that is a producer for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and they need a male cast. Like, they need to cast a man for the show. He said this on this live that they had. Now them been revealed. It's been dug up, and Portia sitting up there commenting talking about, this is a fake story. This is fake news. No, absolutely not. They said this was just a skit they did after the season. Bitch, that don't make no sense. Why would somebody do a skit saying that he's an actor? And bitch, shut up. You think you're smarter than everybody, and like I said, you're smart as a bag of water. A paper bag full of water. So anyway, we go back to the party and the man Mike being grilled by all the ladies. And honestly, based off his answers and everything, it just gives stage. It just gives like, remember when Sheree and Martell was dating? It gives something like that. It's giving Phaedra and Shrek, or Phaedra and that doctor she was dating on Married to Medicine that we never got to meet. It's giving some of that. So we move back to Shamia's house where they're getting ready for the dinner, and we meet the other new addition to the franchise this season, Miss Pinky Cole, who is the founder and owner of the Slutty Vegan franchise. She shows up with her husband. Shamia greets her at the door, and before we can take a step further, Shamia, that mohawk, no ma'am. The shit looked like it was done by a cosmetology student. Shamia, you got too much damn money to be letting anybody play in your motherfucking head. Please! Don't let it happen again. I'm interested to see what Miss Pinky brings to the show, though. I don't think she's gonna bring what K Michelle gonna be bringing, but they cast her for a reason, so we'll see. So Kelly arrives to the dinner with this date named Trey, where I guess she's been absent from the dating scene because she's recently divorced from a marriage of 11 years. But everybody at this dinner knows Trey and knows that he is the dating man in Atlanta. He's like, everybody's arm candy in Atlanta, apparently. Now, what I am tickled by is Charles Oakley and K Michelle sitting next to each other shooting the shit at the dinner table. They are funny. Charles talking about Shamia, Drew, and K Michelle. His SWV. K said, nigga, don't call me no SWV with them bitches. I'm the real singer. Like, what would you? That's like me putting you on a team with niggas that can't dribble. What? They are hilarious. So you can tell before Shamia even get there that Drew trying to get this shit started because she's making little subtle remarks about, oh, where's Shamia? And I know you ain't done made up with Portia and kissing Portia as trying to be her Shamia replacement when that girl dragged you all season last season about some shit you ain't even do. Allegedly. So anyway, we come back over to Shamia. They think she taking her plum time, but apparently her husband's flight has been stuck in Charlotte. Now, they say that's the excuse, and honestly, whether it's true or not, I wouldn't bring my man around them bitches at all. And I wouldn't give a hickory dickory damn what y'all say, what y'all speculate, how much shit y'all talk, bitch, you ain't gonna see him. Now, a little cameo in our house while I'm doing my scenes for my storyline and my shit, that's one thing. But for the group shit and everything else, y'all can kiss my ass. It has been proven that in front of the camera is where some of these relationships go to die. Y'all get down in the comments and name one couple on Bravo that the show hasn't scorched. Name them. The only ones I can think of is the brunette from Orange County that's married to the plastic surgeon and Kathy Hilton, who don't never bring her rich ass husband on none of her shows. Rightfully so. Shit, you see Cynthia got the man via cell phone with a damn voodoo doll attached to it. She ain't playing around neither. Social media, you do as you see fit and keep on, honey. But you can definitely tell they're trying to make Gerald not being there a thing. And I don't even think it's a thing. I honestly think it's production putting them or Drew up to it because production does things like what I did learn some time ago on Candy Speak On It podcast is that sometimes production will give you a beat before you go into the scene or go sit down at a group scene. So a beat is basically like your marker, something that you're assigned to do at some point in the conversation during the dinner scene, whether it's bring up this situation or dig on that person or whatever it is. And once you do your beat, they might text you another one while you're sitting there at the table. So I feel like Drew grilling Shimmy on, where's your husband? Where's your husband? I feel like it's her beat. So anyway, Shamia back at the house with Pinky taking shots and shit. We cut back over to the dinner table with Portia sitting next to Mike. They look like strangers. And Angela's sitting there like, oh, is this a serious relationship that we're witnessing? Girl, no. So the table is asking how did they meet. They stuttering and stammering like they ain't got their story together. And then Portia's giving the timeline like, oh, well, we met during or after the pandemic. Like, girl, wasn't you engaged to and getting married to Simon during and after the pandemic? Like I said, this man been waiting in the wings if he ain't an actor. It's just all fucked up. And Kelly and Angela are in the confessional giving it up like me. Like, girl, the math ain't math and the shit don't make sense. And either the math ain't math and you lying or the bitch really is that dumb and she's telling on herself. The hoe ain't got no shame in her game. Portia, I ain't gonna lie, I threw out a thirst trap and I knew it was gonna catch. Bitch, that's all you good for is throwing out a thirst trap. But you can't keep what you trap worth a damn. So Shamia finally arrives to dinner with Pinky and her husband. So as Shamia enters the room, she's walking around greeting everybody at the dinner table. And the ladies are in the confessional making comments about how they noticed that Shamia's gotten a new body. First of all of y'all has gotten new bodies. And honestly, Shamia always had a good looking body. Like Shamia always had the boobs, the small stomach, the butt. Like Shamia never really got my body done. Now, even if she did, bitch, if you got it, flaunt it. And if you can pay for it, people need to mind their business because everybody sitting at the damn table done been on the table. Especially K. Michelle and Kelly and Phaedra with all y'all damn comments. So in the confessional, they're going around the group of ladies to discuss how they know Miss Pinky Cole. Everybody seems to hold her in high regards because the bitch is that girl. Like she said, she's done the thing. And even though she's facing all that bankruptcy stuff right now, it's probably just business errors or just from, backlash to growing too fast and you have to take a step back and recorrect and restructure some things. So I think the lady she's fine. But anyway, Drew's still carrying on with it. Oh, this is my Zoom date. This is my virtual date. Girl, shut up. It's corny. Like we heard you the first time. Child, Kim Michelle had me falling out laughing when she was in the confessional talking about, I do not know who this lady Drew is with this man in this FaceTime with this ring light. Shamia done came in with a new mohawk and a new body. It's a white lady with a white wig on in the corner playing a violin and When I tell y'all K Michelle is going to be a key all season, why? So Portia announces that they finna start playing one of them messy table games that they like to play on this show. So the game is called Who Did That? So they was all asked cute little questions until Portia gets around to Shamia being messy, talking about, oh, take something away from your last partner that would upgrade your current partner. Shamia said, oh, baby, couldn't a damn thing upgrade my husband. Bitch, I know that shit is. Because, bitch, what in the hypothetical hell? So now here goes Drew with her bone. Talking about some, Shamia, well, where is your husband, bitch? Says the hoe that's sitting here with a virtual date in her phone, holding her phone like, oh, guys, look, this is my virtual date. And the nigga sitting up there with a ring light like he couldn't bring his ass to the damn dinner table. If you're going to sit here on the phone the whole time anyway. Like, Drew got a loose screw. She less than smart. Shamia told that bitch, "Ho, focus on your Zoom call," and I don't blame her. So now they start going back and forth, and that's what kind of irritates me about Drew, because it's like she likes to go back and forth, but she's not good at it. She just talks really fast and keeps saying the same thing over and over again, and it's like, it's irritating, it's agonizing, it's provocative, and it'll piss you off enough to hit that bitch in the mouth. But Shamia got too much money to be doing any of that, so she can handle this. And Drew's still sitting there at the table talking under her breath because she's mic'd up talking about, oh, she's just embarrassing herself further. No, honey, you're embarrassing yourself. Lady, you have a man, a little dick man that has dragged you on this show for years. You finally get rid of him, or halfway got rid of him and let him go. And now you sitting here at the dinner table with a loser, a bigger loser on your phone. Lady, shut the fuck up. You're embarrassing yourself sounding like a child in front of Charles Oakley, and them bitch grown people. You sound like a child going back and forth with Shimmy about where her damn husband is. Bitch, where's Ralph? I'm realizing that they keep Drew on this show because we need somebody to not like. Because I just don't like this hoe. I don't care how many chances I give her. I don't care how bad I try to feel for her. She's just hard to like. Even Phaedra went on in the confessional to say the man Black been sitting on her phone for 3 damn hours. She was one of the first people to show up to this party alone. But I brought somebody virtually. Now, Cynthia, I understand. Cynthia made it very clear after her 2 divorces that she done gave this show, bitch, y'all ain't getting another man. I will not be bringing this man. I don't have a full contract. I'm just a friend to the show. However, bitch, you're a peach holder. Y'all can get rid of this bitch next season. I'm sorry, we done drained all we can out of her and Wreck-It Ralph's marriage. We don't want no more. Get rid of her. And wet-ass refurbished wigs that bitch be wearing on TV. So Portia goes back to the game asking these dumb questions, talking about, who have you had a sex dream about sitting at this table? Lady, no. But Pinky goes on to ask a question we all want to know. When's the last time you and this man Mike been intimate? They both look at each other because they don't have any. These people clearly don't know each other. They clearly just... Portia's talking about, oh, we were intimate 9 months ago. Bitch, you was married 9 months ago. Ain't you just got divorced from... I don't know. Something in the peach ain't clean. Portia really thinks sitting and standing up there with this man in Simon's house is cute, but bitch... These people and the world, we are all sitting there laughing at you and just shaking our head because you's a hoe. And you ain't got no damn shame in your game, dog. So the men separate from the women. The men are going to go sit and smoke cigars while the women do a scene at the table by themselves. Child, I had to turn the flash on because the sun done went down on me, y'all. So you can tell that the new beat for the ladies is to discuss Portia and Shamia's relationship and where it stands, because that's really the only tension that's in the group right now. But since Shamia and Portia playing nice, like they ain't got no problem, Cynthia wants to know, well, what's the problem between you and Drew? And I want to know too, because Drew, what are you doing? So I guess it's coming out that the issue that Drew has with Shamia is that she done got on the YouTube and I guess was talking shit about Drew. So now Drew's kind of, trying to act hype like she about it, but she's not. Now, I don't know how long they were sitting there filming this scene because it's starting to come across a little disjointed. Like we went from Drew and Shamia to Shamia bringing up Phaedra and Phaedra bringing up Angela because Shamia was trying to throw Drew under the bus with something about Angela, but then it got to Phaedra and Angela. Listen, y'all got to do these arguments a little more organized. But in the argument, in the back and forth with Phaedra and Angela, Phaedra's talking about, well, when you brought up that I had a friend or some friend of mine approach you at the Hawks game and threatened you, that's not true. And I have the tapes to prove that that's not true. So now when the lady's starting to ask, well, where's the tapes? I'd love to see the tapes. Oh, well, I don't have the tapes, but I have them reviewed. Well, she didn't say that there, but she said that in the confessional and production asked her. See, Phaedra will twist some shit up and make a whole lot. That's why I don't trust shit that bitch said. Now, one thing I do like about K. Michelle getting up and walking away from all the mayhem and all the back and forth and conversations at the couch scene is that she didn't already have this TV shit before. She didn't have this argument, all that shit before. Like, she don't need the camera time like all these other ladies need the camera. But Kay get up from this argument to go sit and smoke cigars with the fellas. She's like, listen, I don't even know how to smoke a cigar. I'll probably choke on it, but I don't want to be around this shit here. And I don't blame her. So Angela gets up from the group to go retrieve K. Michelle and bring her back because I'm sure production was like, what the hell she thinks she gonna, what she think this is? So I think Angela going to retrieve her was giving very much so, not your supervisor, but your team lead going to get you on your supervisor's behalf. Like, girl, you got to come back over here because they don't pay you too much. They ain't playing. Like, this is their first time, the first scene with all the ladies, the whole cast sitting together. Like, bitch, clock in. So anyway, Kelly says something to the effect of, I really hope that you and Shamia work it out, referring to Portia. And Portia cops an attitude with her, like, girl, get back. You don't have to say none of that. You're doing too much right now, because I guess she takes it as her being facetious. But here's my thing. It's giving that your beef with Kelly is that she's friends with Shamia, because you had way more pressure with Drew, but now Drew's sitting here kissing your ass. It's giving, like, for K. Michelle or Drew or anybody that's got issues or really ain't fucking with Shamia and is on Portia's side, she fuck with. But anybody that's friends with Shamia, she ain't fucking with. And it's giving, like, well, I guess that's where Housewives of Atlanta stands now. Portia versus Shamia, and what side you gonna be on? Sorry, y'all, I was trying to use the natural daylight, but the daylight is gone. I had to cut the light on. I just want to mention how I noticed how Portia's whole ass gonna go out there to the fellas when she's running away from the confrontation with Kelly, talking, well, I'm the hostess and I'm gonna have to deal with you at another time. Yeah, okay, girl. Good excuse. But she runs out there after Charles Oakley been in her house all day wearing a blue suit, done sat down, ate, was there in the daylight, it's night out now. Now she, oh, why you ain't wearing all black? What you doing in that blue suit? Girl, anything to speak to Angela's husband. Angela? Mm-mm. So anyway, now her new man Mike is making an announcement in her house, thanking everybody for coming over. Like, this ain't her ex-husband's house. Like, sir, you are a guest here. I don't know, Portia, this is embarrassing. And the man ain't even really her man. Like, she's just so, oh, my man. You know what this reminds me of? Y'all remember when Portia, after she got divorced, she was talking to that basketball player or that football player that always brought that friend around him wherever he went, and then it ended up coming out that he was dealing with trannies and stuff? Y'all remember that? This is giving that. It's giving plant. It's giving stage. It's giving stunt. And you see that homeboy standing right over his shoulder, giving every little step I take. Portia and this man Mike is honestly a joke. Like, even when they kiss, I don't believe none of it. I ain't buying none of it. And she turns out to be with some stud later on, so you know it's bullshit. So they give us a peek into next week's episode. And speaking of next week's episode, I saw that Bravo on YouTube already released like I guess a sizzle reel from next week's episode, and it's like 7 minutes long. Y'all, we do not need that much of the new episode. You want people to continue to watch the show. And I don't want it to be like last season where I could basically be caught up with the show based off of my YouTube account because y'all put most of the episode on YouTube. Like, please, please, please. Let us have the show. Social media is killing these shows. Just let us have our show back. We find out about everything before the show starts filming, when they filming, before it even airs, and I'm tired of knowing about the show before I watch the show. That should happen last season. Please try to keep some things to the imagination and in the element of surprise. But y'all, thank you so much for watching, for sticking it out and hanging out with me. I've been standing here recording this thing from 5 to 7:30 just because I wanted it to be detailed. I wanted it to be good. I'm probably going to edit a lot of it out, but I just appreciate y'all for watching and taking the time. I put a lot of work into this, and I really hope that, I truly hope that you enjoyed everything that you saw. But if you haven't already, please like, share, comment. Let me know what you think. Subscribe. Stay tuned for other things that I have coming in the pipeline. Turn on the notification bell. You can find me on all social media platforms at KYNGVYXN. And until next week, I guess that's it for now. Ciao.